Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Hey, we just got a call for a reference, and it just made me think, and Karen and I were just talking about it on the way back in. There are certain people that jump from job to job, and I mean, I'm not talking about you go to a place and it wasn't what you thought it was, and you have to leave, because that happens.
Absolutely.
Right?
Or, you get into a job and you really dislike it. We're talking about, why can't I keep a job? These are the people, they're also known as job hoppers. So on their resume, pretty much every 6 months to a year, they have a new position. And what I find that a lot of these people have in common is they also don't have long-term relationships, and they are sort of job hoppers in all aspects of their life, right?
Well, that's what I was going to say. So you have to align your heart and mind. Mm-hmm. You guys have heard that a million times. I mean, I understand some people have to grab a job because they need to get a paycheck right now. They need insurance right now.
Absolutely.
There's those emergency situations. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about someone that, does 5 in a row where it's a year or less. But you're the same at least you should be the same person you are in business that you are in your personal life. And that's a lot about aligning your heart and mind. I'd like to think, I'm treating, obviously, Karen special to me. You're a lot more special than anyone I've ever worked with.
Thank you.
But I'd like to think I treat other people with the same respect that I treat you. Obviously, I put you a little bit more on a pedestal,
right.
Being my soulmate. But you guys know what I mean. It's family, friends, your relationships outside of work. It should be similar inside of work. If it's totally different, you've got a disconnect there. And this isn't just about work and personal. This is relationships. This is, your commitment to yourself, your
Absolutely.
health, your happiness. I mean,
right.
Everything. There's like a disconnect there that you have to really think about. Right?
Absolutely. And I also, find, I don't know about people out there, but, some of these people, most of these people will ask people to be a reference. And I'm always flattered when someone asks me to be a reference. However, we've had some situations where we've been a reference. We've given a great, reference. The person gets the job. They literally are in the job for a week, and, we're checking in to see how it's going, and they've got another job lined up. Now, they have to understand that we have given up one of our chits for them, instead of for somebody who was going to take that job and
right.
keep it. And that's really an unfortunate situation when those things happen. And that has actually happened to you and I. It hasn't happened, thankfully, recently, but, I would say within the past 5 years, it's probably happened a good half a dozen times. So
Sure.
We've become, a little bit shy at giving references for people.
Well, let me be clear. I mean, I've worked for large companies, and you've got to be very careful about that. My advice I'd always give to people that work for me is you don't give references. All you do is verify start dates and termination dates. Right? That's all you do. That's company policy in a lot of large corporations.
Right.
You have to be careful about giving a negative reference.
Exactly.
But, this video really isn't about the jobs. I mean, it's just like the disconnect. It was a reminder of a disconnect between heart and mind.
The character.
Well, it's like, you got to be
the
careful.
Same character that would accept a job after you've asked somebody to refer you, and then you're already looking for a new one, right away, because you aren't thinking about anyone else. You're not thinking about the business that you've taken a job with, and the amount of time that they're going to invest in money,
right.
that they're going to invest in you. You're not thinking about the person who referred you and their relationship with the person they referenced, and you're really doing a disservice to yourself,
right.
because you haven't even given yourself a chance to be successful, and you're already looking for the next gig, which leads me to believe the reason people can't keep jobs is because it's this disconnect Jeffrey's talking about. They can't get out of their own way because they don't have the self-confidence.
Well, I'm just saying, dig deeper. It's
Yes.
not about the job, right?
Right.
It's everything
You're
else.
absolutely right, Jeffrey.
This was just a reminder. It scratched the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So just be careful. Make sure your heart and mind is aligned in all that you do. The job is a small portion of your life. Hopefully, it's because your job is not you. That's for sure.
Right.
Look at your relationships with your significant others, or if you haven't found that person yet, your friends, your family, everybody around you, how you treat yourself, how you take care of yourself. Make sure your heart and mind is aligned with all you do.
And we used to have this saying above the coffee maker for the kids when they were younger. I loved it. Whatever you are, be a good one.
That's an Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
It's
Whatever you are, be a good one.
Love
and
it.
I just love that, and I think it really pertains here. So on that note, wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from outside the nest at Copper Mountain.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you. Go ahead and click off. We'd love to have you on board.